Our job is, to make sure everybody understands what's going on right now, and it is a wholesale takeover of the United States government by the billionaire and corporate class. We are turning into an oligarchy as we speak. And second, to raise the alarms on what is a really dangerous assault on democracy that has been underway since the election and will continue after the inauguration. It's just not hyperbole to suggest that we might be looking at Democrats being locked up, media companies being shut down by this new administration sometime in the spring. So, listen, I'm all for rebuilding the Democratic Party. I certainly have thoughts on how we can become a much more aggressively economically populist party that reaches out to folks who had been duped by Donald Trump into thinking that he was the economic populist. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, Democrats aren't going to pass anything in the next 2 years. So we have got to make sure everybody in this country understands what the Republicans are trying to do. That is to steal your money, cutting things like Medicaid and Medicare in order to finance another giveaway to billionaires and corporations. That is the beginning and the end of the Republican agenda, and that's what Democrats have to talk about.
Well, and to me, the most salient new development in all this is the Musk Factor, which genuinely strikes me as new. It wasn't a factor in 2017. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in the 20 years I've covered American politics. Truly, I can't come up with anything, any precedent, any analog to the world's richest man who spent $250 million. And, when there's a shutdown fight in Congress, the speaker is calling two guys, the guy you see on the right of your screen and the guy you see on the left. Just hasn't happened. And I wonder what that means for how you think about opposition, particularly along the lines you're just describing about this billionaire takeover.
Well, listen, this isn't spin, right? It is just true that Musk is the co-president. That's maybe a charitable interpretation. He may be more powerful than Donald Trump. And the fact of the matter is, Musk is trying to get close to the White House because he makes his billions off of government policy. He makes tons of money off of production in China. So he wants to manage the relationship in China so that he can continue to make lots of money. And the car subsidies and the rocket subsidies that come through the federal government are a big deal to him as well. So he is a perfect example of a number of oligarchs, of billionaires, of corporate titans who are surrounding Trump in order to steal from ordinary Americans, right? Cut our benefits, our kids' education, our grandparents' health care in order to turn a billionaire into a multi-billionaire. And Musk is well known, but he stands there as a perfect example for the American public as to what is fundamentally wrong with the Trump administration, how it is going to be an oligarchy, a kleptocracy, call it what you will, but it's just in service of the billionaire class.
On the nominees, which will be one of the first big fights. And obviously there was already a defeat for the incoming president with Matt Gaetz. I mean, even Senate Republicans said, no, are you joking? John Thune, I think some of these are winnable battles. I don't know. I'm not doing the vote counting, but, you got to get 4 to your side. And I think the notion of Kash Patel as FBI director is obviously ludicrous and dangerous. Here's the Senate Majority Leader Thune talking about those nominees. Take a listen.
Does that mean you already know some of your Republican senators won't vote to confirm Kash Patel at the FBI or Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon?
We don't have, at this point, I don't think, clarity on that. I think these are nominees who are new enough. They've been going around and conducting their meetings, which I think, frankly, have gone very well. Mm-hmm. But they still have to make their case in front of the committee.
It seems to me like the hearings are real, right? That senators and the American public should take them as real, and these are not as foregone conclusions. Is that how you approach this?
Yeah, I do see these nominations as winnable fights, but Democrats have to fight the fights. And frankly, Chris, I don't see that happening across the Capitol right now. I mean, I've been talking ad nauseum about how Kash Patel is being put into the FBI literally to destroy the rule of law, to enable Trump's dream to put his political opponents in jail. Why are we giving RFK Jr. a pass? Okay, he wants to ban pharmaceutical advertising. That's nice. He also wants to kill our kids. by withdrawing vaccines from our schools and taking fluoride out of our drinking water. Yeah. I mean, Democrats have to fight these nominees, and not just like once a week, every day, because the only way that Republicans even consider voting against them is if the temperature has been turned up all across the country. And I just worry that we are not working the way we need to work against a nominee slate that is just absolutely bonkers and out of the American mainstream by a million miles.